Hey YouTube, this is Kaiser here. I'm going to be doing a deck profile of my Nova Grapplers post set 3. So I'm going to get started. Starter, White Tiger. You don't have any options for Nova Grapplers right now in terms of starters. Basically you can run Battle Riser or basically the same thing, Turbo Riser, or you can run this guy. This guy, as far as I'm concerned, in a beat stick deck like this, having the free booster is very helpful, if nothing else. And there actually is a target for this deck that you can actually use it. I'll get to that. And then let's move on to the triggers. We got 8 crits, 4 stands, 4 heal. The explanation for this trigger lineup is because the way this build is different. This is a very different build from a Beast Deity build. And Beast Deity, I prefer to run no crits, 8 stand, 4 draw, because I would attack with my rear guards always first, and then my Vanguard being a Szczur Dragon, and they always want to block him because they're afraid of his attack hitting, and I've been searching, and they know I have a guy in hand. So in that, I don't like to run the crits because they always block the Vanguard anyway. The crits usually go to waste. But in this version, you prefer to have a Szczur Kaiser as the Vanguard, so those 8 crits are a little bit easier to go off. And because just hitting grade 3s, it makes most of your field stand anyway, there's not really a point in running too many stand triggers. Grade 1s, we got 3 Shout. I love this card, he's very good. 7k booster, and when you open up bad in your first few hands, you can use Shout to discard and draw whatever grade you're missing. Very useful card, especially when you ride your Vanguard a different grade 1. You call out the Shout. You need to use Shout skill to fix your hand. So you discard, draw, and then you get lucky off the draw trigger, hit a stand, and then stand the Shout after you use his effect to discard, draw, and then get an attack out of him for 12. Next we have my favorite grade 1 Nova Grappler, Death Army guy. This card is really good from set 3, 7k booster, and if you drive check a grade 3, he can stand. Very good card. Ideally this is the card you want for your rear guard boosters. You have him out there, you attack with everybody, your Vanguard attacks, and should you hit a grade 3, he'll stand. And if your Vanguard was a Szczur Kaiser, somebody's going to stand. If you have him team with Death Army Lady, she's going to stand. So, very good card. It gets you there, beats down your opponent. In fact, he's so good that generally your opponent will try to kill him if they can. And he's only grade 1. Next we have 3 Tough Boy. Only 3 Tough Boys because of the Death Army guy. Nothing in this deck teamed up with Tough Boy really hits any sweet marks, so the Death Army guy generally is a little bit better, so we had to make room for him and cut down on these. But I still run him instead of running the clay doll mechanic, because this being an aggro deck, sometimes you have to do whatever you have to make that final push for game, and him teamed up with the boosters, the 7Ks, can hit the 15 mark, which is a pretty good sweet spot to hit against most Vanguards, so that's why he's still in the deck. And last, we got the typical 4 perfect guards. Generally every deck runs these, and usually in 4s. Grade 2s, my favorite Nova Grappler grade 2, the grade 2 version of Death Army guy, Death Army Lady. Very good card. If you drive check a grade 3, she stands. Teamed up with a guy. If you hit a grade 3, you have a brand new column to swing with. Very good card. Next of the grade 2s, 4 Jack. Little Jack's pretty good. He's difficult for a lot of people to attack, being that he's a 10 if they don't have a booster, or 11. So if someone doesn't have a booster, they generally can't attack him. And there's nothing else that really counterblasts in the deck, so usually you have plenty of counterblasts for him to keep attacking. Then last we have 3 Kings, basic 10k beater, because Brutal Jack is bigger, The Death Army lady has such an amazing effect, there's really no room for 4. And on to grade 3s. The ideal Vanguard most of the time for this deck is Szczur Kaiser. Like the Death Army people, if you drive check a grade 3, his skill will let you choose any rear guard and make it stand. So if you have him as your Vanguard and you have a couple of Death Army people out and you hit a grade 3, all hell breaks loose and you get like brand new columns to attack your opponent with. Very good. And last, the only beast deity of the deck for Szczur Dragon. Now you may ask why he's in here if there's no beast deities other than the starter, and that's because even by himself, even if I'm just running him, just 4 copies of him, it still has that threat to my opponent, where if they know I'm running multiple copies of him and every time I swing with him, they're still facing the threat that they're going, does he have it? Is he gonna do the Persona Blast and stand 2 people? I gotta block this guy, he's too scary. Even though I might not have it, just the fact that I could have it, even though it's less consistent, still scares the opponent. Other than that, he's a big booster, and if he's a rear guard and I have the White Tiger out, teamed up with my Vanguard or Szczur Kaiser, my attack hits, I can use it to make this rear guard stand. So, yep. That covers this deck. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you.